Well, welcome back to part two. This is where we're going to be finishing up the rest of this carrier that's going to act as a guitar snow for our vocoder. And then next video we'll be making the modulator and applying all the effects. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to duplicate this third Thor instance right here, except we're going to change the pitch bend to 14. Again, keeping up with that out of tune pitch bend down thing. Make sure to connect it up because it's not going to auto connect like it normally does. And all we're going to do with this one right here is we're actually going to go to this LFO that's acting as our, not an LFO, our analog oscillator that's acting as an LFO. And we're just going to bring it down an octave, which will sound like this. Which has a little bit more rich harmonics that this one didn't have, but it just helps out onto that sound. Make sure to route this parameter right here, this rotary one, with the common area because that will not copy over with the original sound. So now altogether we have this. Okay, so now for our fifth, I believe. Okay, so yeah, create your Thor, initialize it, move the pitch bend up to 14. Initialize it, don't forget that. Turn up the sustain for it, so the sound doesn't actually die out over time. And then we're going to make an analog oscillator, triangle on octave 4, wavetable actually, on octave 3, with the position at 103. So it becomes more of a saw-ish waveform. Give it a... And then you're going to make another analog oscillator acting as an LFO again. So put this one octave 4 on a triangle, and then the oscillator 3 to FM on 1 and 2, do 16, 25, and then again scaled by this rotary one right here. So it's just turning up to the desired amount here as we increase this knob. Then go up to your fourth Thor, or whatever it's called, on your setup. Go to knobs and buttons, rotary 1, and then it should be moving. So let's go ahead and... Okay, so now what we're going to also do is change the mixer balance to 88. So that we're hearing a little bit more of that wavetable oscillator in the sound. And then we're going to have this one, a low pass, which is the frequency all the way up. And then a resonance at 20, so it just boosts those real high frequencies just a tiny bit. The drive at 96. And then filter 2 is going to be a notch filter. The res will be at 0. 110 as the drive. And then, yeah, again, 110. Hold shift if you want more accuracy. 1, 2. And then we're going to go ahead and route this again to get it modulating with the... Go to frequency for oscillator, filter frequency 2, and then go to from 5 to 100 as your amount. Okay, and that sounds like this. So now, altogether now, 5 of the 6 Thor instances are what we have here, and they all sound like this. So now we're going to go ahead and make our final Thor instance, and this is not going to be actually have really any FM modulation. It's going to have a bunch of multi-oscillators in it to help just fill out the sound and fill out all the frequencies. So change it to pitch bend range of 14. The sustain all the way up. Multi-oscillator, and 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Run all 3 through. You're going to have this one, a saw wave, which is its default, on 3. A saw at octave 4. And then a saw at octave 4, but we're actually going to change it to an interval detune at amount of 28. So it's a little more detuned than all of these. Filter 1 will be a low pass. The frequency almost all the way up. I have 13.8 kilohertz. You can just play that bigger, and then drive at 88. And we're going to make a bandpass filter with the state variable. That's one right here. And yeah, drive of 92. And then there's going to be also no resonance, and we're going to run that one through. Finally, we're going to be go up to the rotary and tell it that you want to modulate that frequency. And do that from an amount of 10 to 80. And what that Thor instance is going to sound like is this. And that just helps add more harmonic frequencies and make it feel more filled out. So this is what our entire carrier signal sounds like. So in the next video, what we're going to be doing is going over how to use the vocoder, how to make the modulation source, and then finally applying EQ and effects to finish out this.